Hello, this is Solomon, and we are going to be looking at tournament replays because there was a tournament hosted this morning at 7 a.m., so I didn't participate, but a bunch of other players did. There's gonna be 5 games. All these are going to be from Quebec, which is this player, and Black, which is this player. Some people can consider Quebec the best player in RUSE currently. Some people consider Black the best player. But either way, it's obvious they're just going to crush the opposition for the most part. Here's the first game versus these two people. Player base, AT base is very standard for France. France is also the best now, probably the best nation on this map, all things considered. We got Soviets, very strong combo of artillery, AT, and infantry. Is France and Italy, which I would. You can do M15s, but there's France, so they used to make AT, so you would have to really know what you're doing in order to kill the AT of M15s or work something out. Anyway, so France makes a Maginot, which is automatically losing because Quebec is making artillery, so the Maginot is going to die in 20 seconds. And Ezagio is going to have 40 less supply in artillery, so it's basically game over. France should have matched. I think, honestly, they probably should have done. France should have copied what Quebec was doing, and Italy should have went infantry. Are these Strelky? Holy shit, it's Strelky. Interesting. Is this anti-tank gun gonna die? I didn't notice that when I was first watching. Okay, it doesn't. It lives though. Or honestly, France going soft 40 may even. Actually, no, I don't think. I think it would cost too much money to go soft 40. Never mind. Oh yeah, so taking these two forward depots was also a mistake. You want to take your rear depots since these depots are very exposed. But yeah, anyway, the game's over. So because there's a lot of artillery right here, since Ezekiel wasted all his money on the Maginot that did nothing. Let's speed this up. Actually, no, I think soft 40 plus Italy Barracks opening could have worked, maybe. This shoots like Veloz to kill the Guardia. Veloz plus soft 40 can stop the Guardia and B11. And you can choose the sock and then deal all that other shit, like the AT. Potentially, I don't think you're gonna have enough money to actually just have enough firepower to. You'll probably still just end up getting brute forced by this combination of what using what I said, but who knows. So yeah, anyway, now the soft 40 are coming out, but they're about to be killed by the Dordia, so. Yeah. So I did eventually go soft 40 again. There's just so much material from Quebec and Black. Okay, let's go to the next game. Okay, let's look at this. Jeff, who is currently named Not Great, Not Terrible, and Gary Berry versus Black and Quebec. It's yeah, Quebec and Black are gonna win this one straight up. It's WS versus Soviet Germany. So we already have some problems. Well, let's they don't build their buildings, so we can look at the problems. Okay, we'll see. The big problem is that they both hit barracks, depot openings, but the enemy has air, and they don't have air either. And AA doesn't really work on this map because it's well, you need air. So yeah. So one of them needs to go air, or needed to go air at the beginning, or they needed to rush Quebec because he didn't camo or anything. He just built an airfield at the start. Like go armor base and try to Stuart rush. Maybe not Stuart rush or anything, but at least try to infantry rush. I'm trying to think of what kind of rush would be better. Okay, yeah, no. If they both infantry rushed they could potentially win that. Because Soviets can't 1v2 with infantry. Like, if both these guys just throw a blob of infantry forward, it's going to be very difficult. It's going to come down to if Quebec can get his couple bombing runs off the Heinkel as well. Like, if he can bomb, like, all the infantry. Or if, like, they actually micro the infantry and split them up so the bombers don't do much damage. Yeah, so basically their options were either go air, which is kind of dangerous since ME-109s versus the Warhawks is not awesome, or they do a rush. And they did neither of those things, so they're going to lose. And the rush will be to exploit the fact that Quebec went air. And bombers don't really counter light units if you just split the light units up. So they don't. So only a couple of them get hit by a bombing run or something. Yeah, Burrito Silence Cardia. Not a bad decision. I've done this before a lot of matches. And so, like, you have Guardia somewhere, but then you realize the enemy doesn't actually have vision. So you just play radio silence, and all of a sudden you have Guardia right next to them. Or like 10 seconds from their depot, or from their barracks or something. It's really funny. So yeah, this is happening. Decent counterattack decision, but there's a barracks right here, so the Guardia are just going to kill these guys. Also, going 3 depot each was a mistake. That is so much money. Way too much money. Yeah, they've lost 2 or 6-star depots, and now this guy just lost the Warhawk, so their priority is over. Oh, he didn't lose the Warhawk, actually. Yes. The Heinkels are going after this depot. He gets the barracks. Yeah, there's this Guardia everywhere. He went so he went through the forest instead of the town, which isn't bad, but there's Heinkels everywhere now. And Guardia, so it doesn't really matter. Oh yeah, also the airfield over here got bombed, so F. So yeah, there's like match wasn't difficult for Black in Quebec at all. So we have some more interesting replays coming up. Pomegranate Soul, Bohemian. Let's look at this one. This one's pretty quick. But the last two are pretty interesting. Or more interesting. UK Italy versus France Italy. Yeah, France Italy versus Italy UK. That's just. Okay, I can tell. Okay, so Italy should have just went M15 since there's no AT from these guys. except for Hurricane, but that's not really getting anything. Instead, Italy does this completely pointless. Like, why are you building a recon? You're fighting air and armor. There are no units in the force, so why are you building recon for this? Light infantry are also pointless. So yeah, so Quebec obviously does the right thing. He just goes per M15, so he's just gonna win. And I mean, French start making AT, but there's no fighters, so yeah, UK can just make bombers and win. Like, this is why you need air, or else enemy spams fighter bombers and bombers. And yeah, the M15 push got forced back, but he did kill a bunch of shit, and the bombers were just destroying everything, so. Quarter pounders coming out. Italy surrenders. Yeah, that was a pretty self-explanatory game. Look at this one. Quebec and Black versus Seoul and Pomegranate. Pomegranate is good. Seoul is also really good. Seoul and Nico won the last tournament that I played in when me and Super Crumpets came in second. Soviets UK versus Soviets UK. So I also have to say I'm surprised, like last tournament it was just US and UK like all the time. And here there is very little US and not a whole lot UK either, which is kind of team comps were a lot more varied this time around. We have our double hurricane start. Really interesting. The problem is just you almost lose air superiority because now the enemy gets free Spitfires. Like hurricanes aren't gonna do anything against Spitfires at all. So yeah. Oh, 5 depot. Lots of infantry lost for no reason. D45 points for Quebec and Black, only 15 for Red. Okay, so let's look at this. We have 2 Hurricanes. 1, 2, 3. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Spitfires. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 Spitfires. Okay, so it's still about even, but my point is okay. So Pomegranate did radio silence, but theoretically, if he doesn't play radio silence, he can just play fanaticism right here. I don't know. Maybe these guys still have a spare RUSE. I don't know. But since Quebec built, I mean Black built 2 Hurricanes. That's he should be able to win the air battle since he has more money in Hurricanes. If he just micros around the decoys. But that is understandably difficult. A is coming out. So he rated out the fanaticism, which is nice. Isn't Pomegranate did. Another weird ass attack, like in 130 points to 90 points, so More lost infantry. Now we have eye shoes coming out, which is a weird decision. It's honestly, well, like again. So let me get this up. They do 25 damage. That's less than light tanks, the infantry, and they miss half the time, and if at max range. So, and these cost 25 each. Like, they would have been better off just spending the money on like other units or buildings, like maybe taking over the flank, or contesting this flank, or just anything else. I mean, this is nice right now, but Recon's gonna get forced away eventually. Yeah, so now Quebec has their depot. The issues force some Quebec black, but doesn't really mean much. Whatever. Like, there's this more Gordia here, so obviously, like, all these Gordia are just gonna die. The issues didn't do anything. Hey, gun died. Surprise attack. More Gordia die. Only one, but. Yeah, so this guy has 3 ISUs, which is, let me think, it's dumb. 15 infantry. And Quebec has 15 extra infantry right now, and the ISUs have killed 0 units so far. And they've done damage, but they're not really enough to mean anything. Okay, I think the ISUs just killed a unit. Congratulations. Like, cause base assault guns, like the damage is just too low. You really have to be aware of how you're using them. If the enemy will exploit the lack of cost efficiency in that. It's like, you just aren't doing a whole lot of damage. Now Quebec just has so much extra infantry since he didn't spend his money on assault guns. I mean, even when all these guys are clumped up and taking so much damage from the assault guns, it's still not mattering enough. He almost stopped the attack, but I mean, he's gonna kill the barracks, but now the depot is gone, so really big. Oh, so now his third assault gun comes out. He only had 2 right here. Still a 3. Iffy decision. Like, you would have been better off spending the money taking over a flank and getting these depots or something. Like, you're not gonna break through the town with this pitiful ISU damage. Like, sure, you may force some units to move for like 30 seconds or something, but I mean, it's like lock up the town with your own infantry, then go focus on the flank or something. The Wellington bombs the barracks and dies, so that was a weird, really weird trade. Quebec gets another depot. So the ice shoes are actually gonna. Oh, the ice shoes actually did something. That's the only significant thing they've done this match, and will do this match, if I remember correctly. Radio silence. Yeah, goddamn fun ruse. Why camouflage your buildings when you can radio silence your units? And ironically, though, that's radio silence can be great. It's a lot better for info denial than camouflage. Yeah, so this depot died, so it's 4 depots to... well, all these depots are running out, so it's 1 depot to 0 depots. Also, this is happening, my bad. And all these units are out of position. But yeah. Yeah, game over. But I'm really liking the use of radio silence in these matches. It's so rare to see that. And like radio silence in infantry is really powerful, especially in long towns. Like if you control the town, and he doesn't have vision in it, you can get like, if the enemy objective is, let's say 40 seconds away, and you can get, okay, let's say the enemy objective that you're trying to kill is 10 seconds outside the town and it's 10 seconds to go through the town. You basically, if you do radio silence, enemy's not going to know you're coming for whatever till like you're out of the town. Then you're basically right next to it. Like I've done it on handshake over to Eld. Like when I've been on the enemy side of the river and I control the town, they don't actually have any recon or units in the right place. And I've managed to like actually get around the buildings enough with radio silence, then just blitz them to the barracks that's like 5 seconds away. Stuff like that. The radio silence infantry in towns can be really powerful if the enemy doesn't have vision into the town. Because you can move a bunch of infantry units through the town and the enemy won't know. And we saw radio silence infantry in what's it called? Across the river game with Jeff and Carrie Berry versus Quebec and Black. Okay, let's look at this one. Another really cheesy thing to do is build an airfield. This is mostly a Germany thing. But so you do paratroopers, but don't camouflage your airfield, but radio silence your paratroopers. The enemy might think you're attacking or building something if they're even paying attention to whether the airfield's lighting up or the audio cues. Like the enemy has research attack, whatever it is. But that's really, really funny. Radio silence paratroopers. The enemy really expects that. It's pretty cheesy though. Or even like if you're gonna build an airfield, like radio silence will actually can screw up the enemy instead of camouflaging your airfield. If you do radio silence, you could be sneaking bombers or paratroopers or something, or just a bunch of air. And the enemy might not guess that or figure that out till too late. Anyway, France and Soviets versus Soviets and Italy. Italy base, AT base. 2 barracks, 2 depots each. Yeah, so Bohemian Fawn, I don't know why I took your rare depot since that's really, really exposed to M15s. Like right here, if the M15s get through here, they've lost the game. Because M15s should not be getting through this area since it's going to be filled with infantry. But it's not that hard for M15s to go through this way since it's all just open ground for the most part. And French AT is all the way over here, so yeah. Building the French barracks was just really, really stupid because A39s are super slow. And Yeah, they're just garbage. They have no use except for against infantry, but they're so slow. They just get run down by infantry, and then they cost 25. If he wanted to lock up this town, just build a Maginot. The Maginot is the same cost as the barracks in the H39, or just build an arm base and build like B1 bis or S35 or SOF 40, just anything. Like this barracks was such a horrible, horrible decision that does nothing. Really, really bad. These AT are not shooting, and that's very, very bad. There's also not enough infantry to screen for the Lafleys, so they're just gonna die. These two got over here. Or a 39, this makes me cry inside. This depot's gonna die now. Really, really. Okay, so Soviets lost both of their starting depots, which is the game's basically over. Especially with that on top of the French barracks, that was just so painful. Wait, did they not lose this depot? Oh, they don't lose it. Oh, still losing one depot is really, really bad. So yeah, Quebec and Black control these two center sectors. And they have their infantry split up really well, so they can like control how they move their infantry really, really well. Because they can combine their infantry into a blob a lot easier than the enemy can combine theirs. If you know what I'm saying. Like he has a bunch of infantry spread out right here, and it's pretty easy like get them into a group to launch an attack or generate pressure. Now it's a little bit more awkward for the Bohemian to do the same as be as mobile and flexible with his own infantry. Barracks dies. Although this push will fail though, because it's a choke point. And now there's B1 bis, thank God. And the artillery is just, it's like World War I right here. Quebec loses a bunch of Guardia to these guys in the town right here. I guess I don't know if he forgot about these guys. No, well I guess he thought that a Bohemian had less Guardia in his city right here. But yeah, so his push didn't work out that well though, because he lost a lot of infantry. I mean, so did Bohemian, but not as much. As you can see, Bohemian and Cascade have more points right now. In the armor base. As you can see, Quebec starts spamming his shack so he can just strafe on his shit to death. Cascade reacts quickly. See, the problem is the Soviets basically aren't doing anything now. Like this split of economy is way too not awesome. Because over here we have a really good split, and like the Soviets, like so the infantry phase is kind of like infantry have limited utility now. Like there's just too much material, and plus the defensive advantage from Bohemian and Cascade that infantry pushes just aren't going to work. So Quebec doesn't really need to build a whole lot of infantry anymore. So he just goes air, and Black can just do M15s or whatever he wants. But over here, Cascade, he has the double duty of fighting off the M15s and now the air. So he's basically doing a 1v2 right now, because he has to both account for M15s and build AT for that, while at the same time build air and maybe EAA to deal with Quebecs. So he's basically dealing with both players right now and what they can do. Well, Bohemian is not doing anything. So yeah, it's just really bad resource allocation of how they're spending their money. The Ishaks do the same. Ishaks are like actually garbage against units. They're like the only fighter that can actually be fought off by like shitty fighter bombers and bombers like the Mitchell. Like the Mitchell will panic at the same time as the Ishak, and the Stuka will kill an Ishak if I remember correctly. I know Summer will, but well, I may be misremembering about the Stuka. And yeah, Ishaks do negative damage. 16 damage, yeah, so they're equal to Stuka. But they cost 15 and they do the same strafing damage. So you can actually spam a bunch out real quickly and get lots of money. You can get lots of material to strafe ground with. So yeah, as I was saying, yeah, Soviets should have gone air. And France should have gone soft 40 in some AT. Like if Soviets just go air and they go Yak 3, they should be able to win since Yaks will just kill Ishaks. And it's only cost 25 supply to tech up the Yaks. M15 spam. Again, H39 is not going to do anything against M15s. Like, oh wait, I need AT. It needs like, I think it's like, what, 10 seconds to make? It's kind of annoying. Whenever I'm making lots of AT as France, I actually usually go double AT base just for the more production. So yeah, as you can see again, Cascade is basically 1v2ing and the Soviets are doing actually nothing. He's just having to deal with the air at the same time and the M15s at the same time and can see that not working spectacularly. Also, there should have been infantry right here in this town square that they can blitz out and like attack the M15s. Also, would nice if there was a Soviet barracks right here too to try to keep the M15s modeled here and maybe like yeah, just try to keep them with the bridge. Time to get AT or just something to respawn. Maybe build some B1 biz. So yeah, game's over. Oh, what should have France? Okay, well, as I said, Soviets should have gone air in response to Quebec going air. Is also Soviets. France should have gone soft 40. Soft 40 and some AT. Since once the Soviets, because let's assume Bohemian gets his air up right away in response and the air situation stabilizes. And if you can actually micro his air right, if France goes soft 40 and AT, either Lafley or AT-47 or some mix, it doesn't really matter. Anytime Quebec strafes, ideally Bohemian Fawn can punish the strafes and kill the strafing planes. So it's still difficult for Quebec to strafe, at least cost effectively. Then soft 40 AT will just push. And you know, like this is there's nothing blocking vision, so I can kill the depots in production right here. Or you could have just done a B1 Bliss artillery AAAT blob too, maybe. In like MS-406. Like these Ishaks are dying to the Kepler MS-406. So like Ishaks are so garbage against the air. So and as I said, the big issues were losing the depot to M15s here earlier. And by extension, losing the losing the AT2 because that was a completely unnecessary loss. Like it's only 10 supply, but it adds up. And then late game, again, France was basically 1v2ing. Just speed it up till he surrenders. Why is he still fighting? Surrender already. An admin. A fight to the end kind of guy. Holy AT spam. There you go. Yeah. Well, that is the end of this video. And yeah, Quebec and Black obviously won the tourney.